Taking multiple hits to the head can affect memory, cause headaches, and can have an impact on mental health. We've heard a lot about those concerns in the media lately, especially for football players. But it's not just football. We wanted to show you the personal impact on an athlete benched for life.
Nice outlet pass.
I remember just being on the ice, and then I remember our trainers like hand on my back and just kind of like tending to me. I have no idea how long I was out there for. So just took me to the bench right after, but I don't remember that at all. So I kind of remember being on the ice and like kind of having like a wow moment, like just kind of like, oh God, this is bad. And then that's kind of all I remember.
Matt Whipper may not remember the hit that ended his career on Ohio University's hockey team, but his teammate, Brian Lubin, sure does.
A kid on our team, actually, I think it was my freshman year, he had to quit. He was on the team here, and that's because he had too many concussions.
As Ohio Hockey Center, Lubin has had his own fair share of concussions, but he was fortunate enough to continue his career on the ice. His former teammate had to hang up his skates early.
To see him go through that and not be able to play anymore because of that, it sucked for all of us, but I couldn't imagine what it was like for him, considering this is why he came here and stuff.
Ohio University's team physician Fred Solomon says a concussion is a traumatic injury to the brain.
The way I can put it is you take your cell phone and drop it. You may not crack the screen, but you may damage the phone inside. So think of it like that, is that the hardware has been damaged and it can't carry out its executive functions.
The most common symptoms of a concussion include headaches, dizziness, fogginess, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, sensitivity to light and sound, and difficulty focusing. Matt had headaches for months following his career-ending concussion, but his mental health took the biggest hit.
So like my world kind of just like cut off. Like you're done with hockey, but you still got to show up to class. You know, I still was coming here and like being supportive of the team, but it was killing me every single time I was here. And so yeah, I mean depression and like, you know, having anxiety about what I'm gonna do from here. Like, you know, I've done this my entire life. I've put so much time and effort into this, and all of a sudden it just cuts off.
The Ohio University Athletic Department follows the NCAA's strict concussion protocol to ensure player safety. John Bowman is OU's Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Medicine. Bowman says athletes' mental health is becoming a priority.
As the NCAA community is feeling a need to create more mental health counselors for the student athletes, because they are under a lot of pressure. The pressure to do their academics, the pressure to do their athletics, to succeed at a competitive environment.
That pressure often pushes student athletes to be more aggressive and take risks that lead to more injuries. But with a broken bone or twisted ankle, recovery is predictable. Concussions are very different injuries.
We've had an athlete know of one that was actually a very, very good athletic performer, an all-conference performer for their sport, that was we medically DQ'd after 2 concussions. If it's a slow recovery, if they've had more than one, then we're a little more worried about jumping on that as far as ending their career. And that can lead to depression and so forth.
Whipper is worried about the number of concussions he's had throughout his 16-year hockey career. 4 or 5 at least.
When I got here, I was like, okay, the next one's gonna be it. Like the next one I'm done. And then I'd have like a minor one that wasn't that bad, and I was like, all right, I can keep going.
The most common way to determine if a player can keep going is the baseline test. It includes tasks that test reaction time, balance, and simple decision-making. Athletes take it at the beginning of their season, and then again if they take a hit. The comparison is supposed to tell trainers if there's a concussion problem.
So we did the baselines, like I've done those a lot.
Yeah.
For like every team you go to, you do a new one, and then every time I got a concussion, I'd have to redo it. And even if I didn't really have a concussion, I'd have to do it. And so I kind of joked with them right after. I was like, look, I know all this, like I memorized it. Like, because we do it so many times, and like you have to repeat the words and do all that stuff. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, look, I know this. Like if you give me this test, it's not gonna matter.
Sports medicine physician Dr. Aaron Roberts found another problem with the baseline test. Athletes will intentionally do poorly on their original test, so the comparison doesn't look so bad.
There's been some question in some recent studies showing that some of the collegiate athletes are able to sandbag really the test so that they don't have to obtain such a high level after an injury so that they can return a bit quicker. And so that is a bit of debate in certain circles for sports medicine on what is the right test.
Dr. Roberts believes this new technology may in fact be the right test. The Clear Edge Brain Health Toolkit takes the subjectivity away from both the patients and the physician. Adena Health System is only one of 2 in the state of Ohio and one of 10 in the nation utilizing the Clear Edge technology. The toolkit includes 3 separate tests, a cognitive assessment, a balance assessment, and a tracking questionnaire.
I think this is the future for brain health.
Dr. Roberts believes there is a correlation between brain damage from concussions and mental health issues down the road.
I do think that mental health is a big topic. It's been a big topic in the past. There are changes in personalities. These have been seen by family members. And to give you a definitive, it'd be hard to give you a definitive answer, but really it makes sense that that would be, if you're damaging the brain and or the connections that the neurons are making in the brain, then you're changing that, which is going to change the person.
It was concern about personality changes and other long-term mental health problems that convinced Matt to put his health first and walk away from the sport he called his first love. Does this bring back any memories of being on the ice?
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I remember, it's like a lot of good memories. It's like I remember like scoring goals in here and like you feel like the entire place is like an earthquake. Actually getting up the courage to stand up. I mean, I remember standing up in this locker room and being like, hey, it was picture day, which was hard. And I remember standing up in this locker room and being like, hey guys, like I've decided to stop. And then, I mean, yeah, definitely a lot of like emotions with that, like a lot of tears in that process because I knew it was coming to an end. And like it's hard because it's what defines you for like a lot of your life.
He's only had to medically disqualify about 3 student athletes in his 2 years as team physician. He says more student athletes are aware of the long-term effects of concussions and are taking themselves out of the game.
Kellyanne, if parents of student athletes are interested in getting their child tested with the Clear Edge technology, where can they go?
If any parent would like their child to get a baseline test or a test after a concussion using the Clear Edge technology, head over to woub.org and click on our story for more information. Testing is open to anyone. Just make an appointment or head to one of their testing events to get it done for free. Reporting live for Newswatch at noon in depth, I'm Kellyanne Stitts.
Thanks, Kellyanne. And if you'd like more information on today's stories, head to our website at woub.org.
That's it for our final show this spring here at Newswatch at noon in depth.
Thank you for following us this journey and for tuning in this season.
We'll be back next February with more of the stories and people of Southeast Ohio in depth.